thing I want to also say, someone had mentioned this, and this is Women's History Month. I think one of the mistakes I feel I've made today is not acknowledge women as I should have. That war, the contributions of women are phenomenal. Women handled the healthcare section, the refugee situation, which was fundamental to saving human lives. I was among some IPOB members once, and I asked them about Mrs. Njideka Ojukwu, the woman that was there with him during the war, was married to him. They didn't even know who I was talking about. She suffered with him. She helped to sustain and keep his family together. Otherwise, it would have been fractured. She participated in humanitarian services. Why are we not talking about women like that? Why were we not talking about women who participated in after attack? You know, I'm not faulting this group. I'm not faulting Rudolph. I'm actually faulting myself. Because one way or the other, I could have instigated conversations more about women. I hope next time there'll be that opportunity. But thank you so much for having me. This is a story that we have to keep alive. I was among some IPOB members once, and I asked them about Mrs. Njideka Ojukwu, the woman that was there with him during the war, was married to him. They didn't even know who I was talking about. She suffered with him. She helped to sustain and keep his family together. Otherwise, it would have been fractured. She participated in humanitarian services. Why are we not talking about women like that? Why were we not talking about women who participated in after attack? You know, I'm not faulting this group. I'm not faulting Rudolph. I'm actually faulting myself. Because one way or the other, I could have instigated conversations more about women. I hope next time there'll be that opportunity. But thank you so much for having me. This is a story that we have to keep alive. I was among some IPOB members once, and I asked them about Mrs. Njideka Ojukwu, the woman that was there with him during the war, was married to him. They didn't even know who I was talking about. I was among some IPOB members once, and I asked them about Mrs. Njideka Ojukwu, the woman that was there with him during the war, was married to him. They didn't even know who I was talking about. I was among some IPOB members once, and I asked them about Mrs. Njideka Ojukwu, the woman that was there with him during the war, was married to him. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about. They didn't even know who I was talking about.
My people, my Biafran people, how on a day? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from when you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazenam Dekano. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, His Excellency ESN Ekpa Simon Njoko, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you because we know in your hands Biafra has come. In your hands Biafra will be safe. And in your hands, not that Biafra has come, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When I say the people, I mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the mild, the sick, the healthy, the civilized, and the uncivilized. Those born in Biafra and those born in the bite of Biafra. We shall all come together under one voice, under one accord, and scream for Hallelujah Day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. Fellow Biafrans, today I want to wish you all a very good weekend. It is Friday, the beginning of the weekend. Happy Friday, I say. Today, my fellow Biafrans, we've just heard from Phillip Effiong Jr., the son of a great man we love so much, General Phillip Effiong. A man who was there during the Biafran War. A man who, as a child, he saw his dad, who was so gracious, who was so helpful to Ojukwu, who at the end, when Ojukwu had to leave for Abidjan, I believe, his dad took the mantle of leadership upon himself to renegotiate with Nigeria. And Nigeria had to come with the term, no victor, no vanquish. I'm speaking about General Phillip Effiong and today his son. From what the son has said, that we should, or he had a discussion with some IPOB members some years ago about this woman they call Njideka Ojukwu. And they were all dumbfounded. They were looking silly, they were looking stupid because they've not done their history. They don't know their history. When they discuss Biafra, they say they love Biafra. They want to fight, die for Biafra. It is Biafra or death. But when you ask some of us the history of Biafra, Some of us, we've forgotten the key elements, those key points, those key events. I repeat, the key events that must not be forgotten. Nigeria is so clever. Nigerian zoo government, they are so clever. I won't blame some of us, but I think for the fact that now when we praise Ojukwu, when we praise His Excellency, our eternal leader, Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu, the man who declared Biafra from 1967 to 1970, when we praise him, we somehow give all the accolades to the one we assume is the wife, Bianca Ojukwu. We praise Ojukwu for the great thing he did, for declaring Biafra, for protecting Biafra, for defending Biafra. And somehow we forget the woman who was there with him through thick and thins. The woman who was carrying and gathering all the children, protecting the children when her husband, Ojukwu, was out there in the war field, in the war front. The woman they call Njideka Ojukwu, a woman who was married to our leader, Ojukwu, in the year 1962. And I believe in the year in the 80s, they had a divorce. Nevertheless, this same woman, she only had a divorce because, to call a spade, she saw one of her so-called best friend in the name of Stella being close with Ojukwu. Hence, she said it was time to bow out. But that's not what I'm here to speak about. I want to ask us, the Biafrans, to now return back to the narrative. The reason why we are all crying, Bianca Ojukwu, Bianca, look at what she is doing to Simon Ekpa, look at what she is doing to Biafrans and all those things, because we forgot the history that she was not the one who was there with Ojukwu during the time of the Biafran War. I see her as one of the spoils of the war. Because when Ojukwu came back victorious as a leader that we made a god amongst men, that was when Bianca came around to grab all the glory. She married him at a time when we the people saw him as our god, our Ikemba of Newi. But we made a mistake. When we praise Ojukwu to the high heavens, we somehow give the accolade to Bianca Ojukwu. Hence, now that she is doing what she's doing to us, now that she has kind of betrayed Simon Ekpa, we now feel disdain, we feel dismay, we feel like there is a betrayal. That how can the wife of Ojukwu do this to us? But fellow Biafrans, I'm here to tell you that because of the actions and inactions of Bianca Ojukwu, I want us to go back to history and correct our wrongs. I want us to look back in the annals of history and correct the mistake we're making. Hence, I am asking, who is Njideka Ojukwu? Who is this woman? Fellow Biafrans, it's high time we address our struggle, our movement, our liberation with the right words, right terms, key figures who are responsible or who played a role in our freedom. Because you all should know that Njideka had 3 children for Ojukwu. And she was carrying all her children through and through the bushes, the land, the villages, the compound, while this war was going on. She was there to support Ojukwu to carry on with the movement. And for 3 years, she was staying side by side with her husband, giving him rest and succor, making him feel good, keeping him calm. Because sometimes, let's call a spade, when a man is in war, if you don't have your woman by your side to take care of you, you might lose your senses. You might go insane. So hence I'm saying, going forward, I want the Biafrans to please start doing a research, study, do a study on this wonderful woman known as Njideka Ojukwu. She is the one we should call the mother of Biafra, not Bianca Ojukwu. Njideka is the mother of Biafra. Somebody had to pull my collar some few weeks ago when I made a video and I was, addressing Bianca as the mother of Biafra, that we felt somehow for what she did to Simon Ekpa, blackmailing Simon Ekpa in Finland, telling Finland that her husband did not fight for the so-called Biafra we are fighting for. Someone told me, what the hell am I doing? That this woman is not the person we should be looking at. That we should look at the wife of Ojukwu during the Biafran war. She should be the one that we should be referring to as the mother of Biafra. Hence today, while I was watching the video of our brother, Phillip Effiong Jr., who looks so much like his father, as I say, like father, like son, towards the end of his video with our brother, Dr. Damages, he mentioned this wonderful woman again and her attributes, the great things she did, that we should be looking towards acknowledging her. Hence, I knew it was time for me to do a research on this woman. So, fellow Biafrans, I will assure you I will take my time to come out with a very good video documentary series or whatever you want to call it about Njideka Ojukwu. We must know about her. We must know the role she played for the 3 years, she sojourned with our leader, Ojukwu. We must give her all the accolades. We must appreciate her. Yes, now she is no longer here with us, but we must bless her the way we bless Ojukwu, because she was the mother, she was the woman who was there for Ojukwu. No more calling out of Bianca. No, she is a journey come lately. She only came to enjoy all the spoils. We must give the right accolade to Njideka Ojukwu. Now you understand why Bianca acts the way she acts. Why she's happy to go and work with Nigerian government. Why she's, going through and fro, breaking her neck to get contracts to become a minister in Nigeria. And you wonder, how come you are living something as precious as Biafra? If it's money you want, the Biafrans will give you the money. Whatever you need, we can give to you. Now you understand why she's doing what she's doing. Hence, please, my people, I'm saying going forward, no more giving her no accolades. We must direct the accolades to the real woman who was there for Ojukwu from 1967 to 1970. At this point, while digging through the annals of history and doing some research online, I want to bring you all 2 videos. One was AI doctored, and the other one was our beautiful mother of Biafra, Njideka Ojukwu, having a breakfast or having a meal with Ojukwu and their 3 children. Fellow Biafrans, if you're ready, let's watch this.
Njideka Ojukwu's journey intertwines deeply with pivotal historical moments. Her marriage to Biafran General Chukwuemeka Ojukwu in 1964 was a union of love amidst turmoil. Previously, Njideka navigated life as a resilient single mother. Standing by Ojukwu during the tumultuous Nigerian Civil War, she became his pillar. Together, they navigated the war's shadows, fostering hope in despair's midst. Their family grew, welcoming Emeka Janar, Mimi, and Okigbo into a world of conflict. Exile in Côte d'Ivoire tested their bonds, unveiling challenges that lay hidden. A mysterious conspiracy became the catalyst for Njideka's heartrending departure. It is better left for another day, she reflected on the separation's pain. In exile's solitude, Ojukwu's path crossed with Stella, marking a new beginning. As Njideka's chapter with Ojukwu closed in the early 80s, a new narrative emerged. Ojukwu's subsequent marriage to Stella, once Njideka's closest ally, weaved complex tales of betrayal. Despite the storms, Njideka's resilience and strength illuminated her journey, leaving a legacy of perseverance.
My fellow Biafrans, the picture you are seeing here is the mother of Biafra, Madam Njideka Ojukwu, sitting next to her husband, the king of Nnewi, Odumegwu Ojukwu, and their 3 children. Please, going forward, my people, let us start unclogging our ears. Oh my God. Because sometimes it's the things we hear that, confuse us. All these years, when we discuss Ojukwu, we give the praise to Bianca Ojukwu. When we discuss Ojukwu, our mind goes to where? The Biafran War, his heroics from 1967 to 1970. To call a spade, most of us, we don't even know much about him because he lived most of his life in Abidjan when he left on exile. And he came back as a different man. So the accolade we give to him in most cases is what he did on the battleground as a Biafran soldier, where he defended the pride of Biafra. And if not for the might of Russia and Britain supporting Nigeria with ammunition and the rest of them, we stood our ground. We stood our ground for 3 years and counting. So my fellow Biafrans, I think going forward, we must give respect to whom respect is due. I believe going forward, when we are praying for Biafra, we should pray to God to speak to the mother of Biafra, Njideka Ojukwu, that while she is somewhere in the spiritual realm, she should always be there to pray for us, bless us, intercede for us in this journey towards implementing Biafra in Biafra land. Never again should we call out in the name of Bianca Ojukwu because she has nothing to offer to us. She knows nothing about the Biafran war. Perhaps she was not even born during the Biafran war. So why do we give her the accolade? Something she doesn't even appreciate. It's like a child not understanding the value of a toy, a gift, a present given to them. And they just throw it into the dustbin or into the trash because they don't know the value. Now you understand why Bianca is acting the way she acts. Now you understand why she is trying her best to rub shoulders with the who is who in that damnable republic called Nigeria. That's Zoo Republic. Now you understand why. The woman we should be praising, the woman we should be giving all the accolades, should be the woman, the rightful woman that was there by the side of Ojukwu. In the interview, Phillip Effiong mentioned how even to an extent, Ojukwu had to carry himself, his wife, their 3 children, and the children of Phillip Effiong in the last hours, the last days of the war. And through a cargo plane, they left Biafra land. That meant more responsibilities for the wife of Ojukwu, Njideka. She is the one we should give all the accolades going forward. Please, my Biafra people, please ignore Bianca. Let her be. She's part of the Nigerian system. She is not the type that came to enjoy the glory of somebody else. Hence, all these years we made the mistake to be giving her all the accolades. We think about the Biafran war and we give Bianca the accolades. No. That's a mistake from our part. That's the mistake of not knowing your history. My fellow Biafrans, I say going forward, please, going forward, if we are blessing Ojukwu, we must bless Njideka Ojukwu as well, the real wife or the first wife of Ojukwu. She was the ride or die of Ojukwu. She was the one that supported him when he took and made a decision to protect the land of Biafra, to defend the land of Biafra. In this picture, you can see she's the one keeping Ojukwu calm, gave him succor, made him feel at home, helped him to relieve the stress he was going through. During the Biafra war, during the negotiations, Aburi Accord and the rest of them, even the one they went to Abidjan, where they had a discussion and the Biafran soldiers had to walk out because the discussion was one-sided. I say going forward, my people, going forward, we must praise Njideka Ojukwu. Forget about Bianca. Forget about her role because she has nothing to offer for us. She has nothing to offer for us. We have nothing in common with her. She loves Nigeria. Bianca she was even a beauty pageant for Nigeria. Allow her to be. Allow her to be. She loved Nigeria. She is a one Nigerianist. Hence, she did what she did to Simon Ekpa, going to Finland to blackmail Simon Ekpa, telling the Finnish government that, to call a spade, her husband didn't fight for the Biafra we are doing for now. That no. Her husband does not believe in the so-called Biafra we are doing. Those were the words of Bianca, a woman who was not there during the Biafran war. Now you understand the sentiments. Now you understand why. Going forward, all praise and adorations, accolades must be given to the woman who is rightful owner of those such accolades. Njideka is her name. Madam Njideka. She is the one. She is the rightful one. She is the chosen one. She is the mother of Biafra, the eternal mother of Biafra. She was the one who stood next to Ojukwu, who was there with him through thick and thins. Not the one who chose to become the wife of Ojukwu in his elderly age, at the time when we all saw him as king on earth. At the time when he was having all the accolades, she came and married a man who was already made. But in the case of Njideka, she was there for our leader, Ojukwu, when he was a nobody, when he was just a sergeant, when he became a governor of the Old Eastern region, known as Biafra. Hence, I call upon you to support and bless the name of Njideka Ojukwu. Going forward, the name Bianca should be relegated and forgotten. No more should we give her those accolades because she doesn't even appreciate it. She loves Nigeria. She believes in Nigeria. And I know perhaps her goal is to become a governor in Nigeria. Hence, she's rubbing shoulders with the who is who in Nigeria. She took a major role as the State for Foreign Affairs Minister at a time when Biafra was going to redeclare independence in Finland. Think about that. She was willing to work for Nigeria at a time when we were going to Finland, in Latin Finland, to redeclare our freedom. What an irony. At the time, we were trying to do what your husband did, to reclaim the glory of your husband. She chose to accept a ministerial position in Nigeria. What a shame. Hence, I'm calling out on the Biafrans that going forward, we must forget about her and support, bless the name, the real woman, the real wife, the number one wife of Ojukwu that was there. She saw the Biafran war with her eyes. She was there. She saw the children die of, hardship, hunger, kwashoko. She was there. And she was the one that supported her husband throughout the whole war period and the rest. So I want to plead on you all to please start doing a research on this woman. Let her name ring a bell in your mind, body, and soul. And next time when you are doing a program, those in the media, give the accolade, give the praise to Madam Njideka Ojukwu. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And I pray may God bless Biafra. Thank you. Yeah, Biafra, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.